It's Amber Kivett here with Life Pro. Super excited to see you all today. As you know, we have got a couple of new products that are coming out for you to be able to purchase for the convenience of training at home. And today is our super fun Friday giveaway and the launch of our newest product to the lineup, the Pacer Mini Portable Treadmill, which is the one right here. All right. Now, you're also going to see I've got one here on the other side of me, and this is one that is not available yet today, but is coming very, very soon. So we're going to go ahead and share with you what this one is all about. This is our Pacer Mini Pro portable treadmill. And so as you are all joining us, we are streaming live on multiple different platforms right now. So if you can give me a thumbs up and where you're listening from, maybe give me an idea of what you're going to do if you're the lucky winner of this wonderful device. We're super, super excited to be able to see all of you that are here and present today. But very, very excited to add more and more products to the Life Pro lineup. And so, again, one of you is going to be a lucky winner of the Pacer Mini Portable Treadmill, which is this one right here. As you can see, they are almost identical in nature, except the Pro has an adjustable handle, has a safety cord, and has the ability to folding up, whereas the other one does not. The Pacer Mini we're releasing today does not. However, they are both exactly the same size. I'm going to get into some of those details here in just a second. But again, make sure that if you want to be the lucky winner of this giveaway today, give me some thumbs up that you're here, show some energy, some love. And I want to know how you're wanting to make use of this so that we can give you an idea of how to use all of the great features of this product. And I'm seeing Joy is here joining the show. Super excited to see you today, Joy. I love that you're one of our regulars and our proud supporter of Life Pro for several years now. So super excited that your energy is present here. And we've got somebody else joining us. Oh, Latrice, another one of my favorites. Good to see you today. You've been with us for several years as well. Awesome. So so it's been a while since we've released a treadmill. If you are familiar with some of our original treadmills, we came out with the Pacer full-size treadmill, very slimline design, user-friendly to use in compact places, easy to use for portability. But these are quite a bit smaller than the original Pacer, the full-size Pacer. So we're coming out with some new products again, always innovating, always coming out with new designs, upgraded designs, so that you can get the best use of products at home without having to go someplace or hiring a coach for extra costs, because we understand how tight money can be right now. And we're trying to give you the greatest advantage of having our products with lifetime warranties so that you can save those dollars and put it towards more valuable resources for your time in your day. So super excited though. Again, tune in with us on Fridays. We've got more and more coming out. I know Roseanne has already got scheduled a workout. So if you happen to purchase one of the Pacer Mini portable treadmills, you can join Roseanne next week. I believe it's on Monday. It's either Monday or Wednesday. I always get the two of them mixed up as to which day is which, but it is scheduled. So if you go to our Facebook events page, you will find that Roseanne is going to be sharing with you the Pacer Mini treadmill workout or how to utilize it in the convenience of your home once you receive your product. So again, we have the Pacer Mini treadmill, which is this one right here. And then we've got the Pacer Mini Pro portable treadmill, which will be launching on Amazon on the 16th of this month, June 16th. It will be launching on our Life Pro website on June the 23rd. And again, everything is exactly the same as far as the specifications, the size, the speed, the intervals, or I should say the different features are exactly the same, but this one has a handle and this one does not. So if you are using a stand-up desk from the convenience of your home for work, or maybe you have a stand-up desk at your workplace, give me a thumbs up or give me an idea of how you're using that, because the other great feature with these mini treadmills is you can use it under your desk or with your standing desk in order to keep working while you're walking, keeping the blood flowing into those legs, keeping your calories metabolizing through the day, and getting that circulation. I'm not necessarily working all day on the treadmill by any means, but just taking some work breaks from a standing position if you choose to. But that's one of the great reasons as to why the Pacer Mini versus the Pacer Mini Pro might be more effective for you if you have a stand-up desk. However, the PacerMini Pro, this handlebar is adjustable, and we'll get into that here in just a second. So again, I'm seeing some more people joining in, and yes, super, super excited. Yes, so many of you might be losing space with products because we keep coming out with more and more and more stuff. And as we come out with more stuff, more devices, whether it's for strength, whether it's for cardio, whether it's for recovery, whether it's for wellness, vibration, detox, just all inflammation. Like this has been a heavy inflammation week for me. We have always got more and more products that are being innovated, and I do not get to be on the inside scoop of that. So don't contact me directly asking me like, hey, is this coming out or is that coming out? I do know that we have a few items coming out this month that are pretty special. But these two treadmills are the only treadmills, to my knowledge, coming out this month. As you know, we always follow up some of our great product releases with different updated versions. But this is all I know for this month. And again, the PacerMini Pro, which is the one with our adjustable handlebar, comes out on the Amazon website on the 16th of June, and it comes out on the Life Pro website on the 23rd of June. And I'm seeing more and more people. Yes. Super, super excited to see you all talking. Keep sharing, keep sharing. Yes, so I want to talk about size. So when we're looking at our actual size of these treadmills, our actual size here, we've got 25 inches wide here from edge to edge, and the actual length of the exterior running surface is of the actual size of the treadmill, so you know how much space you're going to need at home. 32.7 inches long, 25 inches wide, and the maximum height on this one is only going to be 7 inches. Once we get onto the running belt, once we get onto the belt surface itself, we're looking at 27.6 inches long and 15.7 inches wide. Why do I tell you that? Because me just standing on it, there's not a lot of room. So if you have got wider hips, or if you've got really big feet, this might not be the setup for you. But I just want to make sure you know that ahead of time, because the worst thing that we can do is tell you, yes, you have to have this. And then you get it into your home and you're like, man, I got my hopes up because this is not going to work. So the surface, when you see the specifications, the surface that I'm actually standing on, the actual belt that moves, is 27 and a half inches long. So front to back, which is about 2 steps. That's it. And about 15.7 inches wide. So if your hips happen to have a width of wider of 15.7, then you want to make sure that you are remembering that as our feet are, if our hips are wider, or if we just happen to have a naturally taller structure, it's going to be much, much harder to widen your feet because you're going to run out of belt, okay? When it comes to the amount of weight that these babies are, about 40 pounds is what it weighs to move it around, tuck it away underneath the bed, stash it in a closet. But if you do have to carry it up a flight of stairs, this one only weighs 40 pounds, whereas the original Pacer is over 100 pounds, okay? When it comes to the max weight capacity, if you are over 220 pounds, with your shoes on, you're gonna meet the max capacity for these treadmills. So I would not, if you're on the line, if you're like 218 pounds, you're probably gonna be okay getting on it, but it might not last you the life that you're wanting for it. So if you're wanting something with a heavier weight capacity, you're gonna wanna look at one of our fuller size treadmills. But these are 220 pound max weight capacity. The power on these, because they're just babies, the power on these is only going to be 0.5 horsepower with 110 volts. So the speed, max speed, goes up to 3 miles per hour, not very fast because we don't have a big belt to work with. So it's only 3 miles per hour, but it starts at 0.5, which is actually less than our original Pacer or the Swift and the other smaller treadmills. Those treadmills typically start out at 1 mile an hour, and you can do increments a little bit more at a time, but these are 0.5 to 3. So you're gonna much, much slower pace. So these are not ideal for running. So don't buy it with the intent that I'm gonna train for that couch to 5K event and I'm gonna run in a very small space. You're not going to enjoy this for the purpose of that, but it works very, very well in an office space, or it works really well at home if you're wanting to use it with an adjustable height desk, or an adjustable count if you want to use it, hands on a countertop. If you are somebody who is really not feeling stable and you're wanting to have access to a countertop, something that you can do is run the PacerMini Pro sideways. So you have countertop here and you have handrail here. So you're kind of boxed in. It's a smaller space of treadmill, so you can actually use it in like a kitchen space. When it comes to noise factor, it's less than 60 decibels as far as sound rating, so very, very quiet. I'll get into how to get some things set up here in just a moment, but it is remote control operated. A little insight for you. When you get your remote, I highly recommend that you make sure and get yourself a piece of Velcro, stick it on the back, and make sure that you have a spot here. It does come with a little remote control cradle here, but when you are not using your treadmill, when you're not using your remote, I would highly recommend that you put a piece of Velcro on there and just stick it right here on the front or right here on top so that you don't lose your remote. Because if you don't use your remote, if you lose it, somebody misplaces it, you cannot use the treadmill. It's very hard to use it because you have to have the remote to activate it and to get it going. When you get your remote, make sure there is this nice protective coating on the front. Nice protective coating. It's a super simple remote, but make sure when you get it that you take the protective sleeve off, and then you're going to take the protective sleeve off of this one as well, because there is a little sensor right here on top, and if you have a cover, the protective cover that comes on it, it blocks the the laser on here in order to control it. So when you get your product, as always, you're going to make sure and register it within 14 days. You can do that by scanning this QR code. And guess what? We're going to send you this treadmill cover, which goes over to keep dust and debris from collecting on the treadmill when you're not using it. So if you don't want it to be available to everybody else or pets, we'll provide you this treadmill cover that goes over the top. And yes, they also have a treadmill mat that you can put underneath of it. It comes sold separately. So if you do decide that you want to buy a PacerMini portable treadmill mat to go underneath of it to dampen sound or vibration in contact with the ground, which shouldn't be that big of a deal with these, you can buy that extra mat on the website. If you already have a mat at home, like a yoga, has to be a non-slip mat. Make sure that you're not putting something underneath of there that actually is slippery, but you're going to use a non-slip mat if you already have one, if that should bother you before the treadmill mats are available. So just a quick reminder, when you get your product, if you have any questions whatsoever, you're going to call 732-456-6063. Okay, again, 732-456-6063. And we've got individuals available weekdays and weekends, Eastern Standard Time, 9 to 9 on the weekdays, and on weekends, 10 to 3 to answer your calls, answer your questions, process warranty. If you happen to have a product that arrives, you're missing your remote for some reason or missing parts, give that phone number a call and they'll take care of you immediately. Our support is amazing with LifePro, or I would not continue to represent their brand, because customer service is a top priority and value for me. And so I'm really, really proud to recognize that LifePro rises among the competitors and among most businesses when it comes to superior customer support. It's truly a world-class customer support team that we work with. If you want to email us, it's support@lifeprofitness.com. And as always, if you are not already part of our Facebook VIP group, you will find a lot of information on our VIP group, and you can share your stories, or you can see how other people are creatively using their other devices through LifePro. So that is all about the reminders I want to share with you today. When it comes to the differences, again, it comes down to this adjustable folding handle, which I'll show you here in just a second. The user manuals full of great content on safety specs, things to consider, and remember when you are unpackaging how to assemble it. It's a 3-minute assembly process for the original PacerMini portable. For the PacerMini Pro, it takes about 9 minutes, 10 minutes. So super, super easy to get yourself set up and doing. Now, when you get your PacerMini treadmill, you're going to get a bottle of the silicone lubricant, and you want to make sure that you're lubricating the running belt on a weekly basis. If you can remember a weekly basis, set an alarm in your phone to remind you. But if you happen to have that handy, that you can lubricate your belt every week, it lengthens the life of the product. So make sure that comes with it. So make sure you keep close eye on where you put that, because you're going to need to make sure that you're lubricating under the belt. When you go to do that, there is an itty bitty little nozzle on top, and there is a little bitty cap that comes with it that will go right on top, and you'll snip the top of that with a pair of scissors. And then when you access, you'll actually slide the belt to the side, and this wedges directly underneath where you can squirt underneath the belt. So if you have seen one of our other treadmills, it comes with a longer hose or extender that clips onto this. You could also do the same thing using like a flexible straw. So if you have trouble with using this little applicator, just get a bendy straw and you'll connect it on here, and then you can bend it and slide it underneath the belt if you have a hard time getting this underneath of there. Okay, so just a little tip and trick from Amber here. We've used a lot of our we've used all of our treadmills. You're also going to have the ability to adjust the belt. So if you're using the treadmill and the belt starts to shift a little more to the right or a little bit more to the left, there are directions on how you can adjust the belt. There's a little inlet at the back end of the treadmill. Let me get this handy dandy little hex tool out of here. So we provide you all the tools and all the parts to assemble and to maintain. So there's your little hex key. On the back end here of the treadmill, you'll find little holes, and this will go in. You'll be running the belt, and it shows you, make sure not to getting your finger stuck in here, but you'll actually use this and you'll rotate clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on if your belt is tracking more to the right, tracking more to the left from center. And so you'll have the ability to micro adjust it as you want to, just by a little crank of that tool. So you'll find all the instructions on how to do that in your user guide. So make sure that you're keeping an eye on how your belt maintenance is, because it lengthens the life of the treadmill. But just remember, we do provide a lifetime warranty, a limited lifetime warranty. So if you have any trouble, we'll make sure you're taken care of. Now, you're going to see that when I'm using this, there's actually a remote. I've got the remote that goes to this one. It's actually universal, so it works for both. So you're going to see I'm just using the one treadmill. Yeah, so Joy, you are correct. The price on this one right here today, you can get it on Amazon for $299.99. Regular MSRP pricing for both for this one specifically is $499, and our regular price through LifePro is $399. But today you can get it on Amazon. We'll provide you a link directly that you can buy it off of Amazon, and today you can get it for $299.99 as of right now. So if you want to order through Amazon, you can. You can also order it from our LifePro website. If you are interested in buying other products that are not being launched here today, you can use this discount code anytime throughout the year. Most of the time, it's eligible on any and all products. If they're running a special, a lot of times they won't let you stack the codes. But you can try the code AMBER10, AMBER, all caps, 10, so AMBER10. Feel free to share that with your family, friends, coworkers, colleagues, and anybody that you would love to have our products in their home. That product discount code never expires. So we've been using it for several years. So you can use that for your convenience whenever you'd like. If for some reason that you should have any issues with your PacerMini portable treadmill, make sure and locate the serial number. Okay, you might need this when you're registering the warranty. The serial number is positioned right here on the front. There's a little sticker here that shows all the specs. It shows the model, but it also shows you your exclusive serial number that you can register, and everything will be good to go. And it's the same place on both. Okay, so without further ado, I want to show you how this works. All right, I'm not going to confuse any of you. I have shoes on today because when I'm on a treadmill, I don't like to work barefoot on a treadmill. I love being barefoot on all of our other products, especially the vibration platforms and some of our balance tools, but I actually do wear shoes when I'm on a treadmill. So we're gonna flip the switch. So when you get your product, you're gonna plug it in. It's gonna plug in right here on the front end. Make sure it's nice and tucked in there, easy. There is a red switch that switches up or down. If it is down, it has a little 0, and if it is up, it has an up and down line. You're gonna flip the switch so that the light turns on the control panel, which is right here on the side. I'm gonna bring this to you so you can see it here in just a second, but I'm gonna let you see me in action before I bring it to you up close and in person. So when you are operating, you're gonna have your power button, which actually will turn the breaker on and off, or it turns the whole control panel on and off. You have your power button, you have your start and your stop button, and then you have your speed up and your speed down button, okay? So once you get the little switch turned on, right now it shows glowing that it is off. If I were to push the power button on or off, the off is going to go off, and so you're not going to see anything illuminated on that top control panel. So once I push power on, it comes on as off. In order to turn on the unit, to actually get it mobilizing, you're going to push the start stop button, and it's going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and now it's running. Okay, it's going to start at a speed of 0.5. 0.5 is its speed. And when you are looking at the control panel, which I'm going to show you here in just a second, when you are looking at it, you're going to see it's going to go through 4 different metrics of measure on the computer. One is going to be its time, one is going to be its speed, one is going to be how many calories you're burning, and the other is going to be how many steps you actually take. So it's actually measuring your steps. Now remember, because of it being a universal metric measuring computer, if you are wearing a wearable device that tracks your steps and tracks your calories based on your specific points of measure, height, weight, age, gender, all that good stuff. When you go to put all that into your personal wearable, those numbers might show up different than the numbers on here because this is universal and your wearables are made to work for you, for your specific custom metrics. So if they're a little off, that's not to be a surprise. But I'm going to increase the speed, and it goes up by 0.1 each time. Whereas our other treadmills go up much higher increments. This one just goes up by 0.1 at a time. So it starts at 0.5, then it'll go to 0.6, 0.7, all the way up to that 3.0 number. Okay, and if you push and hold, it goes up much faster. So now we're max speed, which is 3.0. And again, as you're watching the computer, it automatically changes from one to the next. All right. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and bring my computer over so you can actually see this up close in person, and hopefully we don't get a little jiggly, get a little lost, so that you can actually see how this is working. This is the hard part when you're running from a full-size computer instead of a phone. It's a little bit harder to control the camera, but we're going to see how we can do this. So bear with me here as we get a little close and personal here. In the meantime, I would love to hear from all of you as to what you are doing in your life and how life is treating you. So what I'll do is I'm going to set this down like such, and you're going to see the switch is right here. Your plug-in is right here. When it comes to the computer, this does have rolling wheels. You're going to see the computer is right here, okay? And in order to do this right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to attempt to do something I'm going to tell you guys not to do. And we're going to try, yep, so you can see it's turning on, and it shows right there as showing as off. So it'll glow in off, OFF. okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, and I'm gonna try, again, this is really hard to do because I'm gonna have to flip the camera. Oh, looky there, it's working. So bear with me here. So if I push the button for start and stop, it's gonna go 3, 2, and 1, okay? And you're gonna see the belt start to move. Starting to see the belt move. And then from here, you're gonna see how it's actually arrowing through, or it's switching through the metrics as it goes, okay? All right, so let me make some adjustments here real quick because thank you guys, you're awesome. I wanna make sure I can see and you can all see. So there we go. All right, so when it comes to the metrics, you can see just a little bit there how everything is moving from one to the next, and you can see the wheel moving or the belt moving. Now, the other thing is if I use the power up and down for speed, it's going to speed all the way through until it gets to 3.0. We're going to stop at 2 so you can actually see. And that's how that works. Yeah, this is really confusing when you're trying to use a laptop screen. So I'm going to set it right here so you can actually see it in motion. And you can see the pace at which the belt is moving. So there, the belt is moving. And that's about it. That's how simplistic everything is. All right. Now you get to see me in action. This should be really interesting because my feet, I wear a size 9.5 shoe, and I was on this the other night trying to play around with it. I always try and play a little bit before I actually have to show you all how to use them. And it's not the same as your typical treadmill. So if you struggle with staying on, make sure you have something to the side that you can hold on to, or holding it up close to a countertop, because it is much narrower and much shorter than your traditional treadmill. So here we go. So I'm gonna, excuse me, you wanna turn on the treadmill to make sure it's running first before you get on it. And then well, let me go back. Let me go back here. We're gonna do this a little backwards. Okay, if you try and go slow motion, okay, a lot of times, so let me go back and correct. I told you to turn on the treadmill before you get on and get started. You're going to turn on the treadmill from the base there, okay, because once you flip that switch, you're able to use the remote. If you don't flip that switch, you can't use the remote. Now I'm going to get on the treadmill. It shows up right now as off. Once I push start, so it's gonna go to start. It's gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and now the belt is moving, okay? And it's only gonna move at a pace of 0.5. And 0.5 is a good pace to get comfy with kind of where you're at on the belt until you get used to the belt, okay? The faster you have to walk, the harder it is to stay on such a small belt. So get used from a coordinated movement, left foot forward, right hand forward, making sure you're getting that cross crawl pattern in a vertical position when you're walking, almost like a heel to toe. Now it gets a little harder because you're walking so slow. And just remember, this does not have an adjustable incline. So you cannot adjust the height of incline up to down like you can some of our past treadmills. From here, I'll go ahead and increase the speed. So now I'm walking at 1, okay? Now, if I'm working on an adjustable desk, so a height adjustable desk, and I'm using this as not really under the desk treadmill, but I'm using it while I'm working, this is a decent pace to be able to type, use my mouse, tape phone calls, be able to read, and not get all sensory weeble wobbly, if you will, okay? We don't want to be weeble wobbly, mentally or physically. So 1.0 is the speed that I'm working at right now. We're going to go up to an increase. Here's 1.3, just a little bit faster. And I'm walking in cross trainers. So if you walk in a running shoe, if you walk in an everyday casual shoe, you'll be fine, because we're not trying to get a workout on this. We're just trying to keep moving. So This is not for you mini marathoners or 5K couch potatoes that are trying to go from couch to 5K in a month. Like, this is going to be more about just staying body in motion. Okay, and now we're going to increase up to 1.5. As you continue to move, you're going to stay tall, and you actually are going to pick up those knees instead of dragging your feet. So a lot of times when you're walking fast on a belt, you're just going to try to pick up your feet. But on here, you want to really try to drive to pick up those knees so that you're not tripping over your own 2 feet on this particular incline. It's not a heavy incline, but it's not completely flat, okay? And so I'll turn this to the side. If I come off the treadmill, it does not stop. The PacerMini Pro does stop. It actually has a safety belt. So I want you to see this angle and see the angle at which I'm moving on it. So we're going to stop. And it's going to come back to 0. Now it's at 0. And it'll say off. Now I'm going to get back on, okay? And you're going to see, like, my feet starting, I'm on an angle, okay? My feet are at an inclined angle. So we're going to start. It's going to go 3, 2, 1. And that's going to take me all the way up to 0.5 right away. So you can see I'm walking on an incline, just a little bit of one, but a little bit goes a long way. So if you are not stable walking on a flat and you're having trouble, just make sure to ease into this or have something like a counter on your left or on your right, or an adjustable bar that you feel safe. So we're going to go ahead and increase this to about 1.5. And you're going to notice if I just pick my feet, if I just drag my feet through, because I'm on an incline, it's much harder. So you're actually going to pick your knees up, so you're getting full motion in your foot. If you don't have the ability to pick your foot up completely, just know that that's something that you can work on with our wedge product or our adjustable incline product, that you can actually stand and gain that mobility back, okay? Now, when it gets to much faster, it gets a lot more challenging to stay at a pace. And this is when you start to really feel the front of the belt and the back of the belt, okay? So you do not want to run on this surface unless you are really good. We're going to call you a professional treadmill user. You do not want to get on this and just run, okay? Because it's really easy to get out of sync from a rhythm standpoint. And it only goes 3.0, so, which is a very, very fast-paced walk. Okay, and I just rolled off the back. I do not recommend you do that, but I was in the mood to having something fun, so I just decided to take the roll back. Okay, now, what is different about this from the other? So that's what we'll talk about now. So it is stopping, and it turns itself off. Flip the switch. We've got wheels on here, so we can wheel it around. I would recommend that you unplug it before you do that. I'm going to take a quick sip of water and see what kind of messages we got here. Yes, my heart rate is definitely up for what it's worth. Whew, huffing and puffing already, so it does work. Just remember, it's not how fast you run. If you're on an incline, any kind of an incline, that treadmill workout gets a lot harder if you're on any kind of an incline whatsoever. Okay, so the main difference between the PacerMini and the PacerMini Pro is the handlebar. And it does have a safety switch. So I'm going to unplug the PacerMini and move it over here to the side just a tad. And again, it's got little handles that are built in on the sides, so it's easy to move around, and they do have wheels built into them. Okay, your funny moment for the day, funny moment for the day is say wheels and built, wheels built. Say that 5 times in a row. Wheels built in, and you're gonna get tongue-tied like I just did. I just caught onto that, And y'all need something funny to laugh at, right? Because if you're not laughing, you're not relaxing your jaw muscles. So make sure you laugh at something today. Okay, so on this one, as you can see, it has the handle. If you unplug it, which we will do for demo purposes, you can actually use this lever in order to drive and push and use the wheels to reposition. But it also has little handles built into the sides. So if you find that you don't need the handle, both of these are built exactly the same. The only difference between the regular and the Pro model is this handlebar. And on the handlebar, it also has an emergency switch. So if you are, and it has a remote storage area. So if you are worried about losing the remote or getting caught up and not being able to have a bailout, it does have a kill switch, but I'm just going to tell you, any treadmill that has that emergency kill switch, it is not going to happen fast enough to keep you from falling off the back if you should lose your balance. So it's there to kick the treadmill immediately off if you should become unstable and you go off. But at the end of the day, it is not going to prevent you from falling. So do make sure that you're not depending on this switch to kill it immediately to keep you from falling off. If you're in the middle of a step and that red cord breaks loose, it is not going to kill it immediately so that you don't fall off the back. So do use it responsibly. We're plugging back in. And again, it has that switch on the front. It has remote control holder up top, and it has that emergency cord. So when you have that in contact with this top little segment here, when it yanks off, the control panel switches off immediately. This just clips onto your shirt, whether you want it low, whether you want it high, wherever you want it. It clips onto wherever you want it to clip onto. And then this is just magnetized right here on top. When it comes to the adjustability of this, okay, I'm going to take you back down to the floor so you can see how cool this is, because I've not seen one made like this yet. So let me come to this side. So what you're going to see, you're seeing the handles that are built in here to be able to mobilize it, to move it from one place to another. And again, these weigh right around 40 pounds. So they're not super heavy as compared to our other treadmills that are like closer to 100 pounds. But on here, you're going to see that there's this knob here. And to loosen it up, you're going to go lefty-loosey. So we're going to go in the direction that it says. We actually give you the cheat sticker that says to loosen, turn one way, and to tighten, go the other way. And you're going to see that it actually shifts out of the housing. So you're going to see a gap here, okay? This side is loosey-goosey. When you come back over here to the other side, okay, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to unscrew it, and you're going to see now it's like super loosey-goosey, okay? Yes, both treadmills have the exact same incline. So if you want to leave the handlebar intact, it just folds flat like such, and then you can turn this wheel back to plugging this into the unit so that it stays locked in. Or if you are wanting this to be shorter, if you're wanting the handlebars to be shorter, these unfold out here to the side. So these are the little levers that lock it in, lock it out. There's a little push button, okay? You'll be able to see it here. It's a little push button right here. You're just gonna push that button, give it a little wiggle, and then this slides back and forth, and then you can lock it there. Make sure you get it all the way in. There we go. So now it's locked in. So now we have a shortened lever. So it doesn't take up as much space. It's actually the same length as the belt itself. And so if you want to be able to use that lever to move around, you can. But if you don't need it in your way, then it does fold pretty close to flush into the top of the unit. And then from there, right here, you're going to, it'll say tighten. So then you'll tighten that side back up. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other, okay? So you can tighten the other side. Come around here, and you'll see that this little wheel actually plugs right in there to the base, and it's locked. So you can use it as you're transporting it. Again, when you go to transport it, unplug it, you're gonna find the wheels on both sides, okay? And if you don't wanna transport it with the handle, then you can fold the handle down and you can use it to push and do all that. But standing up, it does not stand up by itself. So you have to lean it into something if you don't wanna store it flat, but it's only 7 inches. Even with the handle folded down, it folds in flush to 7 inches. 7 inches in height. That is the height of the incline, okay? So we're gonna go through this in reverse. So we're going to unclip those. From here, if you want to pull this lever out from here, you can, or you can leave it at that shortened height, and we're gonna unscrew the base here for the handlebar. And then from here, it just goes back into position, and then you can tighten from here, and it will automatically position itself where it should be once you tighten it. And again, you just give it a little tug. Now we're locked in, okay? Now here on this side, once I undo these latches, let me give you a little view up top, okay? Once you undo these latches, then there's a little push button here. Once you, actually get that all the way down. Whoops, wrong way. Hold up here. Wait a second. There we go. So right now you can't pull it up because it's locked in here. So once you push this little button here, then it locks on in. It clicks in here into place. You're going to drop these little levers down, and now you're ready to go. Now, can you leave the handle down and still use the treadmill? That is a no-no. You don't want to leave the handle down behind, because if you should fall off the belt or if you should step off the back, you're going to trip over the handle. What you can do, let me show you this. What you can do is you can use the push button feature, and then it locks back in down here at the bottom. And what you can do is just leave the handle halfway up, all right? So now that you've seen that, we're gonna go back to where we were so you can see it in full view motion. Okay, now we're gonna plug it in here onto the end. And the switch is already on, so it's already ready to go. You can leave it at this height, okay? And I'll show you what that's gonna look like. And again, if you want to use the safety, you can clip that on and use the safety if you prefer to, but you don't have to. We're gonna click the start stop button, and it's gonna say 3, 2, 1, and it's automatically gonna start moving up to the pace of 0.5 miles per hour. That's as fast as it goes on default until you use your remote in order to increase the speed. Just a note of caution, you absolutely have to have the remote in order to operate the treadmill. If for some reason you lose the remote, you cannot operate the treadmill because this is the talking point to the control panel, okay? So do not lose your remote. If you lose your remote, contact us and we'll send you another replacement if needed. So now I'm up to 1.5, and I can position that remote right there in front of me. And now I'm walking at a comfortable pace, okay? And again, if you get too close to the back, you can actually feel yourself getting over the edge of the belt because you only have about 27.6 inches in which you can walk, okay? So from a side view angle, again, it comes down to, it only weighs 40 pounds, so it's really easy to maneuver. when it comes to a side view angle, now it has a weight capacity of 220 pounds. So instead of me just jumping right back on it, I'm going to decrease my speed and stop. I'm going to wait until it stops before I get back on. Here, let me move this so you can actually get a better unobstructed view. Because again, they're both exactly the same. You can convert one into the other if you really wanted to. If you wanted to get the one with the handle and you don't want to use the handle, you can just remove the handle and you should be good to go. All right. So we get on, and then from here, we're going to hit start. Going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and it's going to by default take us up to 0.5. So yes, you can use it with the handle down low if you really want to work your booty and your hamstrings. Then you can do this bent over exercise where you're working on knee ups. But let me just tell you, it will make for a sore low back, okay? So you don't want to get into the habit of doing that too much. So you can go from standing tall to bend forward, okay? So bend forward to standing tall. And if you want to make it a little more interesting, more resistance, you can wear a hip band, a thigh band. You can wear the mini loop bands. But just make sure if you're going to do that, that you have a means of being able to hold on, because we don't want you to get hurt in the process. So again, we're going to increase our speed to 1.5. And now we're moving a little faster. Okay, so again, if I want to work a little booty action, we can go picking up, getting heel to toe strike. Head and chest is high instead of bend forward. We don't want to do that. Head and chest is high. Okay, the other thing that we can do is we can turn around and walk backwards. All right, so in order to do that, we're going to stop. Okay, there's a stop. Yep, it's stopped. There we go. See, I caught myself. And then I'm just going to tell you, this is really hard to do walking backwards. So when you go to walk backwards, make sure and hold on to a rail, because you're not walking on a flat, okay? But you'll start, you'll stop, you'll turn around, and then you can actually walk backwards. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to adjust this back up to high. Lock that down. There we go. And we're going to start it up again. 3, 2, 1 in action. Takes us to 0.5. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up to a 3.0. So you can see how fast this really is. Okay, I'm going to actually hold on until I get the pace right, because 3.0 is a very fast-paced walk, and I'm at the very back of the belt. So reaction timing is very challenging. But this handle is very stable. And again, I'm getting a great little workout walking. Can feel it in my low back. I can feel it in my knees, my feet, and ankles. Okay, for me to keep up on an incline of this pace without feeling the back, that is a lot of work. So do act in the era of caution if you're going to go at a higher speed, because you don't have any room on the belt to adjust your stride. Okay, so it's starting to slow down. If we kill the switch, it kills it immediately. So if you don't want to wait for it to stop, you can pull the switch and it will kick it off immediately, but not fast enough for you to keep from falling off the back. So do be careful. All right, I am double checking some things. Yes. Whew, heart rate is up. 3.0 does it on this degree of incline. I have no idea off the top of my head what this incline is. I can go get a goniometer and measure the degree of incline if we need to. I can, huffing and puffing. I can post that later and let you know. But yes, the shorter length, much faster walk. It's all going to depend on the speed. But with a shorter belt, you do have to act with more caution, which takes away the ability to move your arms the faster you go because you don't have a long belt. So make sure that you have the handle locked in, you have the safety attached to your shirt or something close to you, and make sure that if you're not using that, that you have the PacerMini portable, the one without the bar, somewhere close to objects that you can make contact for balance if you need to, because the PacerMini does not have a kill switch, whereas the PacerMini Pro does. So that's a huge difference. I think that's it. Yes, I will send you all the degree of incline that this one is running at. Like I said, I don't have my goniometer handy to being able to measure that incline, but we'll figure that out and we'll get that back to you. Again, today, $299.99 on Amazon, regularly priced at $399.99. The regular recommended price for these and our other competitors is $499. So if you are interested, today's your day. Today is the launch. Today, they are going to be cheaper than any other day because we're pushing the first release of these. The PacerMini Pro does not release until June 23rd on our LifePro website, lifepro.com. And then when it comes to the website for Amazon, it launches on June 16th on Amazon. So almost a week apart. And okay, so the question is there a pause to stop and then start back where you left off? When you start and stop, I'm going to go back through and double check this. When you start and stop, you're pretty much kicking the belt immediately down to a lower level. But let's double check this because I didn't try that earlier. Okay, no. So what it does, actually I did do this earlier, but I didn't think it out. What I want you to make sure of is when you start and stop, you're actually stopping the program, which decelerates the belt at an increment down to 0.5 and then to 0 from there, but it doesn't stop the belt immediately. So you're not going to be able to go right back to where you were when you started. You're going to have to go back to pressing the start button and increasing. When it comes to your calories and your steps, it's not cumulative. So you're going to see that each time. So if you have a wearable tracker, make sure and use that to know exactly what your workout time is, your steps taken, your calories expended, if you're trying to keep track of that. Because when you do hit the start stop button, you're going to lose all those metrics because the start stop actually turns it off. And then when you go to turn it back on, you'll actually go to push the start stop button. If you're powering off, it actually powers off the whole computer. When you're powering on, it just simply turns it on to the off switch. And then when you press the start button, or start stop button, I should say, it will automatically increase to 0.5, but it does not go back and reset all the metrics, if that makes sense. So I hope that answers your question. All right, and I think we've got everybody there. Walking backwards is great, but it is hard to do when you're on an incline. So do make sure if you're walking backwards that you are going at a very slow pace and that you are stable and comfortable in that position. If you have a hard time walking backwards on a flat surface, it's going to be very, very challenging to do it on this surface. So make sure that you're exercising caution if you are going backwards. Backwards is going to work more of your hip flexors and going to get into the lower leg a little bit more. When you're going up the incline, you're going to get low back, you're going to get butt. You're going to definitely feel it into your quads, but when you're working backwards, you're getting a little bit more control of the hamstrings while picking the knee up and back. So it is a total body effect, either way you look at it. But anyways, for those of you who are listening in and are wanting to win this, give me real quick, you got 30 seconds to tell me why you think you need the PacerMini Portable. We're going to be sending you the PacerMini Portable treadmill, which is this one. This is the original PacerMini. The PacerMini Pro is this one right here. It releases here in another couple weeks. So we're gonna get our winner officially. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Lisa O'Donnell. I don't get to pick. They pick for me, so I'm unbiased. But Lisa O'Donnell, you are our lucky winner today. And looking at these different comments coming in, yes, would definitely help to rehab your knee. Lisa O'Donnell, you are the extra special winner of our PacerMini portable treadmill today. You're getting that delivered to your doorstep, and $499.99 is the regular price on that today. If you are not Lisa and you want one today, then you're going to follow the link that is provided to you in the comments section. Go to that link and order through Amazon or through LifePro today. If you want to use the code AMBER10, AMBER10, for any of our other products available, we'll give you an extra little discount today. And remember, Father's Day is coming up very soon. So getting some of those ideas in your head of what you can use for Father's Day. Two of my favorite products that I use on a daily basis around here in my beautiful facility is the Axis Pro compression boots and the Oculex eye massager. The other that I really, really love is the Sonic LX massage gun. I've been using the Sonic LX massage gun, has been my absolute favorite from the day it came out. So it is, it's always been a favorite. Those three products I use in here on a daily basis with clients. Again, the Axis air compression boots. So they have the Axis and the Axis Pro. They're just a little bit different from each other, not much difference. And then the Oculex eye massager. We put those on our clients in here to relax, chill out, take headaches away, unplug from the real world for just a little while. Lisa, Miss Lisa O'Donnell, if you could text message me personally your official first name and last name for the record, your address for shipping, an email address, and your phone number, I will forward that up the channel to our executive group, and they will ship that out to you very soon. My number, 317-446-7971. Again, 317-446-7971. Yes, I have a little rhyme time jingle. I taught that to my daughter when she was 4 so that she could remember her mommy's phone song. And so she still remembers my phone song, but now you all have it too. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful time in this month of June. It is a beautiful month around here in Indiana. All the weather is starting to change. We really need rain around here, so if you can pray for rain, our farm crops need the rain really bad. But nonetheless, I'm grateful for the weather that we have here. So I hope it's beautiful in your neck of the woods, wherever that might be. And until next time, continue to get outside, stay moving, because movement is medicine, motion is lotion, and we at LifePro here are here to help take care of your health, wellness, strength, and endurance needs for the optimal version of yourself possible. So until next time, make it a magical day, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day.